All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and citizens of YouTube. Pastor Dowell here with Elder Rufus and Elder Mitchell and Jonathan, Elder Mitchell's son. Well, we were sitting here talking for a second, and we were reminiscing over the last month, and it's kind of appalling to us. We talked about convoluted religious ideas to where people actually have what we call a bully pulpit, and they seem like they're somewhat, a lot of preachers seem like that they're men of power, men of force, men of being, men of their word. And then when somebody comes and calls you on the word, all of a sudden you're absent totally, AWOL, 100%. So I actually started a conversation. I said, so what do you think is going on with Gino Jennings? Because he gets behind that pulpit, he acts like that he's not afraid to debate anyone. And that's the reason why we're here, because he put out an open challenge to anyone that he'll debate anyone, especially on these subjects what he was talking about, which is divorce and remarriage and polygyny, because he likes coming against polygyny. But so I started to ask the elders right here to ask him, what do you think is going on with them type of people up there? And what do you think they think about their pastor who 1 minute he stands up like he's this maverick and he's set for the defense of the truth. But then when another pastor comes and calls him concerning this so-called truth that he's supposed to be representing, find out it's a lie, especially after you listen to us, you see that right now what we done, Elder Mitch, we picked up on what? 5 or 6 of his teachings already.
Yep. That
on careful evaluation. See, people have a form of godliness, but they deny the power. But he is not telling the truth on a lot of these subjects. So which one y'all want to go first, man, to see this guy being so bold, but then when we call him out, pull his punk card, all of a sudden he ain't got nothing to say. And then we'll talk about the little sideshow guys.
He never, from what I'm saying with Gino, number one, he's never been called. He's never been called out. He's never been, he's selling what I call wolf tickets, No one's gonna, he's just bold. You just talking a lot of hot air. No one is going behind you. But just like any Christian church, they start out reading and then they don't finish anything in context from what we're seeing. They don't finish anything. You heard William or whatever the guy that's reading all the time, and it says y'all not like putting away. Say he don't like divorce, so he does. He changes it during the preaching, even though we're reading what the word says. You go ahead and insert what you believe the book is saying.
Right.
And this is what you always see kind of happening with Gino Jennings, with any Christian pastors that I see, and any of these pulpits. And the people, they're not necessarily supportive of Jesus. They're not necessarily supportive of the Most High. What they are supportive of this man. It's what they are. Mm-hmm. And so it's a lot of man worship. It's kind of like these sects, right? You had some after Paul, some after Peter, some after Apollos, or whatever the case may be. And this is what people have. Some people are just after Gino, meaning this is my guy, this is who I follow. Mm-hmm. And that's right. And that is the truth. Oh, that's solid. This is what you hear. And no one ever questions anything that this man has to say. And one thing I can say about Pastor Dowell here with us, one thing I can say, one of the main reasons why I even came to this ministry, I came on my second visit. I can still remember this as like it was yesterday. And we were sitting around a campfire at a GOTS. And literally someone asked him a question. Pastor Dowell stood there for a second and literally said, I don't know. And I said, oh, I'm part of this. I'm with this. I'm here. Because the idea is we're just not going to blow smoke up your rear end. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? The idea is to get truth, to state facts. And the issue that we're running to now with Gino, or I believe the issue that they're running into now, is that, man, you can't square your philosophy. Mm-hmm. You can't square, your religious beliefs whatsoever at all with the book. You just can't do it. You can't debate it. And this is the reason why there won't be no debate. This is the reason why there will be no acceptance, whoever the case may be. And see, whenever you just seem like a top dog, people making memes about you, and people are like, oh, this preacher right here tells the truth. This is what he hears. And so what that does is embolden a person until you come up against someone else speaking straight facts. It's just speaking just the book. And one thing that Pastor Dowell's always made a statement of, especially early on when I came into this thing, is he always said, just stick with the book. And so if we just follow what the book has to say and just go off of what it says rather than what a man says, we good. And this is what the issue that they're running into. They can't because they don't just follow the book. Hallelujah. Elder?
Yeah, pastor, teacher, moray, apostle,
You
prophet,
got a lot of titles.
all these titles that Gino Jennings has is extremely attractive and it's extremely entertaining
It's a good
to
show.
people that are spiritually lazy. When you spiritually lazy, these guys get up here before you and parade around and they know that you are not going to go behind them and check out what they say. Because you're there to put in your time. You want people to think, well, I go to church. Instead of understanding you are the church. We'll use that word so everybody can understand what we're talking about. They like to look good in front of others when they get their tithes and their offerings instead of doing what the book say and following, the WWJD, doing what Jesus would Jesus do. Well, Jesus gave all. And the apostles in Acts chapter 2, chapter 4 showed you that he gave all, and they followed that man. These cats, man, they're felices. They make merchandise of the people. They fill up their pockets. He said stuff like, this don't money, this time money don't go. I go and I feed and I do this and that, bro. We know what I've been. Where you at? Pastor, moray, teacher, apostle. I'm gonna try to get all his titles down one day. Gino Jennings, you're a Felisa of the flock, bro, and you know it. You absolutely 100% know the doctrine you teaching is false. You know it. But you chose the paycheck instead. You chose to have what you were talking about, the following of a man. You chose a job over a calling. Because I agree with Elder Mitchell. You're not called Gino Jennings, and it's clear. And Pastor said this in one of his videos here recently, that I keep investigating you. Everything you teach probably false. It is. Because it's all coming from the wrong premise.
Yeah.
It's all coming from the wrong premise. It's not coming from a premise of truth. It's not coming from a Hebraic background. It ain't coming from an Eastern. Nothing about what he does. I guarantee everything he put out there, we can break down and show that it's false. It has nothing to do with Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. Nothing. His lifestyle, not even down to the way he dressed. None of it has anything to do with what we were instructed to do after the Messiah left and the apostles showed us. So these kind of dudes, I don't have a lot of time, energy, and effort for. I know that they are time wasters. What they looking to do is slow down the work. You know what I mean? We read it back in what's his name days. They had to work on the wall with a tool in one hand and a hammer and a weapon in the other, sword in the other.
Got that right.
They would love for us to be in that state today, just so we wouldn't get the work done or slow it down. But this is just a different time frame. So guys like him, he'll huff, he'll puff, and people that have honor and respect, they'll look at it and say, I may not like Pastor Dowell's approach. I may not like him using vulgar words, because he ain't never cursed nobody, but they may not like that. But at the end of the day, when you listen to what he's saying, he's true, and this man needs to respond. So by not responding to me, this is why I start using the word punk, because that's what punks do. They talk till somebody slap them in their mouth. Now, nobody's physically slapped Gino and have no desire to do that.
None.
But he's been spiritually slapped, body slammed, picked up, WWF style, suplex. He's been all that spiritually. And he has zero response. What about all the people, like you were saying, Elder, that believe in the sect of Gino Jennings?
Yeah.
What about all of them? Where is your level of care and concern? Because here's the thing, the environment you created, they can't even come to you and ask questions about what Pastor Dowell is saying about you. You've
Really?
never
Wow,
even given
yeah.
them, you've never given them an avenue. You've never given them a platform where they can even get to you. See, we kicking it, chilling, while we out here working, everybody done drenched in sweat and we building and all this kind of stuff.
Rain.
Pastor is with the people. Where are you at with the people? And I'm not talking about sitting around Williams and your other so-called leaders and all that. I'm talking about you with the people. What food have you went out there and done for? What gardens have you personally planted? What buildings have you personally built, Gino Jennings? Or did you use the money of others to put up that Catholic front? Because that's really what it is. It's a Judaism front is what you got. But your whole goal out here huffing and puffing is to entertain the people. You say you're not an entertainer. I beg to differ. You're extremely entertaining. I actually think you're comical. I think I laugh a lot when I listen to you.
It's a good show.
Yeah, and your aunt. Oh, hey, that's so funny to me. I mean, I watch it. I get a great laugh out of it. But the sad thing is, I don't think it's funny when we talk about people's souls.
Yeah.
And you get up there a lot. He gets up there a lot, I should say.
Boast
And bragging and talking about folk going to hell. When, brother, you ain't got no first class ticket. You got a private jet going to hell, bruh. You got your own private jet going to hell. Now let's test that boast, Gino Jennings.
Yeah.
Let's see whose lifestyle lines up more with a one-way ticket to hell. Is it straightway truth or is it First Church? Is that what they call themselves? First Church?
First Church.
First what? First what? First Lion Church? Bro, this is ridiculous.
Bad.
And the people should have an environment and an avenue to be able to come and say, Pastor, what does this mean in the book? This man said this, and this. I can't make sense out of it because of what I've been taught by you. Make it make sense spiritually. And see, saying, I don't ignore him, he's a shot, yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Hey, Elder.
Ain't gonna work.
We got people that's contacted us that's done burnt up and tore up their baptismal certificate they got.
Man, good for them.
You know, the book, there's an old saying out in the world that silence is a consent to an agreement. And so apparently he must agree with us because the truth is he can't do nothing with this sound doctrine though. I mean, you get out there and you talk about divorce and remarriage where you tell people can't get divorced. You talk about how that they must pay tithes and offering, and you can't answer it from the New Testament when the guy asks you from the New Testament. You want to go straight to the law when it benefits you, but when it don't benefit you, then you want to go straight New Testament, and then you want to curse the law. You want to defy the law, say we ain't under that law, but then all of a sudden he's the same yesterday and today and forever when it suits you, but when it don't suit you, all of a sudden, the boss man.
He's schizophrenic now. What in the world?
He changed it up.
Man, I think it's sad, Pastor. I really
It really
do.
is. It really is.
Sad. And where is the you hear about Moses and he wrote the law.
Yeah.
And even Moses had to write that he was the meekest of all men.
That's what he said.
Because it was just a fact. But he was setting the precedence of how leaders are supposed to be. I remember when I set out to find the man of Yah. I didn't know it was Pastor Dowell. I knew it was one though, because when I read that book, Yah always has someone. But I knew the one characteristic trait that the man of Yah would have when I found him would be selflessness. I knew that. He would be a selfless man. He would care more about the people and do more for them than he cared about himself. And when I got one foot on straightway, I saw all of that just like that. When I saw his living conditions for 9 years, I knew it. When I saw the way he lived and the way he operated on a day-to-day basis, I was like, that's that dude. That's him. He's the guy. And I've been following him as he follows Christ ever since. So I have no problem saying I follow the doctrine of Dowell, because that's what you guys think. But somebody's doctrine is going to have to line up with the same doctrine that Paul had and Peter had and John had and the Messiah had. And, somebody's doctrine's got to line up with that. I know for a fact Pastor Dowell's doctrine lines up with it. And the lifestyle backs it. The lifestyle backs it.
Not only that, for years he's always made the statement, go and check me out. Go and check me out. And so you see, when we heard negative things, and we've known other people that came into the ministry, when they hear negative things, the smart ones have literally showed up and said, well, I'm gonna go see for myself. I'm gonna go see if the things what they are saying are so. But but at the end of the day, y'all's pulling and tugging at their heart, and this is how these folks are making themselves known to the ministry. They're making themselves known to us, and we do exactly what the book said, being good Bereans, going behind what he is saying. And like El Rufus made the statement earlier, the door is open to go and speak, to go and ask questions, to go and get understanding, comprehension. For I don't know how many years on Blog Talk Radio, he took calls left and right and was shooting from the hip with answers. You see what I mean? And at every feast you see it. He can't he can't take 20 steps without getting stopped by like 5 people. Because people want understanding, people want comprehension. And this is something that I just don't see in Christianity, whether it be First Church or anywhere else, but definitely I could tell ain't nothing happening there. And I'm pretty sure these men are probably not saying anything. They're probably just telling them to ignore it, forget it, don't pay it no mind, just let it pass by, just be quiet. It doesn't mean
He'll
anything.
go away one day.
Exactly. But once, like we just said a little bit ago, you the one talking big, bad, and bold. And so now that somebody called you on your bluff,
It's time for you to prove it.
yeah,
Pull
now,
up.
now we upset. Now we mad.
Oh, shut up.
Now the people are upset. Now they're mad. Now they coming over here trying to troll us. It don't make no sense.
At the end of the day, when I read that book and I learn what truth really is, it has no beginning and it has no end. So for you sitting here thinking that we'll go away, well, we can't.
Yeah.
Because truth is here. It's
And we
it.
live this.
And this is all we know. This is all we got. We got nothing but the truth. That's it. And this ain't no sideshow for us. We truly care about the lives of the people. And me and Pastor was talking the other day. We've been talking about a couple times. Lures. Y'all be amazed how many lures are used to draw people in. Pastor's done videos on RFID chips, on silver, on planting gardens, on building, on do-it-yourself, on chicken butchering, on weapons. He's done videos, anything. All of them is just lures to grab someone's attention so they can hear the truth. That's it. That's it. That's what Paul's talking about. He become all things. See, at the end of the day, the goal is to get to the kingdom. And we want other souls to be saved just like our Messiah came for. That's what we desire. That everybody got ulterior motives. That's ours. We just don't hide it.
So what do you think it is? And I'm gonna say this to the people so y'all can get an understanding. If you notice, he's been really mute and silent on answering the doctrine. And of course, now he has minions out there that jump out there and flood the market of YouTube, making all kinds of videos about left and right. But when you listen to it, it's all about character assassination. It's all about putting forth the finger. It's in what they believe to be true against us. But they never question what we're teaching and preaching. They never question the rebuttals that we do based on the doctrine that they're preaching and teach. So it's, the tricks that they use in order to deceive the minds of the people, they're literally appalling. And I think that the biggest thing they really truly don't want you to do is to really truly open up that book and study along as we go in this, so you can really truly see the truth. Now, the one thing they do is remember, when somebody's pointing a finger, they do it for the sole purpose and intention to actually get you to look at what they are saying about that person rather than the truth and what they're representing and what they're saying. Because I say that we have the truth and we're preaching the truth on this, and it's obvious because a lot of people are getting set free. But he says that they have the truth. Now, I would like to know personally what that congregation up there and what do y'all all think about this man who walks around and parades around like he's the sum of all wisdom and epitome of all righteousness, and he has the perfect true doctrine. I'd like to know what happens then when he actually challenged the whole world, said he would debate anyone, and then a man comes and gets in front of him and tell you, okay, I'll take that up. What does that say about your pastor? Not only that, more than anything, what does that say about you? What does it say about you? So, what do y'all think about the sideshows that these minions, are they sitting for the defense of the message, or sitting for the defense of Jennings, or what are you doing?
The book says, be wise as a serpent, but gentle as a dove. See, that's instruction for the righteous. But I think we missed the part about being wise as a serpent. These bookers are wise and they're devils. See, they have no desire to be righteous, but they're very, very wise, and they're not going to cut off the hand that's feeding them. But worldly people are controlled and dictated by their flesh. And their flesh needs to be coddled and entertained. And that's what they get from people like this. So he's not going to cut those hands off that's feeding it. He's going to keep entertaining their flesh. And they're going to keep being proud of, I'm part of First Church, or I want Gino, Jennings, and all this stuff, until this truth just starts smothering him. And then he's going to either have to give a response or go away, because the truth ain't going nowhere.
Don't y'all think it's a weak argument, though, when they said, first of all, they lied on me, said I threatened them.
produce that.
Yeah, produce it.
Well, he's tapping into their feelings and emotions. He's tapping into their belief system. Because, I mean, think about it. When you first heard truth, you tell us all, you was mad as hell. You was angry. You was upset. I was angry. I was upset. So these folks, you know, now it's pride. You know, I was wrong. No, just admit, hey, I've been believing a lie. That's what it is. And he's tapping into those feelings and emotions. He's tapping into their traditions, into their church dogma, whatever the case may be, and they just can't admit that they're wrong. That's all it is. They don't want to come to grips with the fact that I've been walking out a lie. I have been believing a lie. And that's what's going to keep them stuck in this stupor. And what they're doing is not defending the message whatsoever at all, because they're not even going to the book. They're only regurgitating and throwing out things concerning what they believe and what they think, not what the book is saying. They're not trying to square their belief with the book whatsoever at all. That's what I'm saying.
And you know, the one thing that he does, if he gets on the subject, he'll talk about the subject at the beginning of it, and then where he persuades people and change them is by getting off the subject. Let me give you an example. He'll talk about the subject of tithes and offering, and he's supposed to be on that subject, but then he'll automatically go to the stuff that he know that the congregation is going to hoop and holler and shout about.
There you go.
Like Jesus is king. Jesus is the boss. Jesus is the one. Jesus is the same. Yesterday, today, and now all of a sudden they're hollering and screaming and hallelujah and everything else, and they don't forgot the whole subject that was even talked about.
Yep.
It's religious, I'm telling you, it's religious wizardry, it's bewitchment.
Yeah.
Well, hey, and don't get me wrong, we're not making this video because we're actually trying to win or gain anyone. There's going to be people out there that are going to watch his videos, then they're going to watch my videos that are challenging his videos, and they're going to be intelligent enough to actually open up the scriptures, and then they're going to see who's telling the truth. That's happening. It's already happening.
It is.
Getting too many reports.
Too many reports. I'm glad they're burning the baptism certificates and stop listening to them. And hey, follow his advice.
Yeah, for real.
When you find these people that are charlatans and out there stealing your money, stop giving. And then what he's saying, boycott the offering plate. So boycott it. When you see that he's lying and he don't have an answer for this truth, start boycotting his offering plate. Because see,
get out of church.
If you really want change, that's the one thing I know that will get him to change. Once he sits and sees that
the congregation getting thin.
We're down 30%. Oh my God, we're down 45% from last month. Oh, we're down 65%. What's going on? That'll motivate him. He starts seeing that money go down, and he ain't got enough money to do what he want to do with. Guarantee you he'll deal with it then. But now he wants to treat this situation that he created, because he said it.
He said it.
He created this.
He said
now
it.
You want to treat this situation like you know, President Biden or something, like, you know, no access to you, bro. You know what I mean? Secret Service all around you. You call it out. Pastor Dowell eliminated all of his excuses too. We could do the common place that we come together. Nope, you want to do that. All right, brother. You know what? We'll come to your church in your pulpit and do it. We still ain't heard nothing.
Ain't heard nothing.
And again, you want to fearmonger the people like the government do. Oh, those guys. And when you got countless hours online of seeing straightway truth with Pastor Dowell out there in debates. So don't say you can't tell that we can go places and be civilized since you want to try to present us like we barbarics. No, we're warriors. Don't get that twisted. We are warriors. But we'll war spiritually more than anything. This ain't a fight of flesh and blood.
Right.
We understand that. That's why the videos keep going out. So he's eliminated all your excuses. Now you're either going to be a man and accept the challenge since you put it out there, or you're going to keep being the punk that you are and keep running from this situation. What you should do is just humble thyself. Humble yourself and say, look, I've got a chance to go back myself and look over these scriptures and these texts and forget what I believed from day one and really process these scriptures. And I've been wrong. He'd get so much respect from the people if he just did that and then teach the truth. Now, we still wouldn't expect you to do like we would do, because we've had Christian men do that. What's his name? Creflo, didn't he do that? Didn't he go tell the people tithing off? He been lying to them all these years.
Been lying to, but he ain't
getting no money back. You didn't follow the scriptures and get back double since you've been stealing. Since you've been stealing from them, you didn't get that back. But at least you did get up in front of them and tell them that you've been preaching a lie. You've been deceived all these years. Now, all you did is a sister Hasatan and its ultimate goal, which is to destroy faith in all men. Jesus coming back looking for faith.
Yep.
You can see we got it. You can see it in our action. We got plenty of faith.
So not only does Gino Jennings First Church, their doctrine is false concerning divorce and remarriage. It's false concerning biblical marriage. He's false because they don't keep the commandments. They don't keep the Shabbat, they don't keep the commandment.
Nope.
It's false because the dietary law, man, y'all no different than the Church of God in Christ. And all the rest of them, y'all resemble just like them. All of it is lie. All of it is false. And if I keep on digging and keep on looking, pretty soon I can probably almost
Unearth.
I'm telling you, unearth what? Probably we can get to 10 before the end of the
It's
year.
all false, Pastor. All of it is it's based on a false foundation, a false premise. All of it is false. What you say? You telling us all the time. Y'all come up here and show me one thing that's true about Christianity. Did you ever get anybody to send you a video? Because your pillars of Christianity, which you would put out there and tell everybody, they all false. So everything that you have is built on falsehood. So everything you teaching, you may have a microcosm of some truth because you done extracted a little bit of the law. You don't really understand it though.
There you go.
You won't know how to apply it because you don't live it. You don't live it. And I just, these guys are time wasters, man. That's what they are. They
Well, I
time
tell you
wasters.
one thing, I ain't gonna stop. I'm
Nope.
gonna stay on y'all for a while. I'm gonna ride
Good.
y'all like a Shetland pony.
Hallelujah.
I'm telling you, just like at the fair. Wow, like a rodeo. I'm gonna ride y'all.
Hallelujah.
And I'm gonna keep letting y'all put out all them disparaging comments because the only thing that really truly helps us is with all the other minions out there that say negative things about us is remember all publicity is good publicity. Just as long as my name is out there, I don't mind. I'm gonna tell you now, keep using my name because somebody is gonna be intelligent and they're gonna discern the intent of your heart and the malice that's in it. And then they're gonna come over here and look and see what I got to say.
Yep.
Now let me end it on this. Well, because we're getting ready to go back over and finish this side of the building. For all you people out there that actually think that I curse, all right? I told you there's only one word I use in the English language that's not in the scripture, and that's shit. Shit means ship, height, and transit. And I told y'all the book says that he that travel much knows much. We've got people in this ministry from almost every spectrum of every background you can think of. And only in America do they consider that what they call a cuss word. We proved it 1,000 times. But me using dumbass,
Biblical.
yeah. Didn't the dumbass speak from Balaam?
Yep.
Are you follow me? Bastard, hell, damn, all in the word. All of it in the word. Well, we don't like the way you say it. We don't like, listen, that's the problem. Paul said he is rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. You probably don't know that the Most High God is using that to actually get you offended just to see if you will study to show yourself approved.
Yeah.
Jesus said it over and over again. Does this also offend you?
Yep.
he
As
flat-
the disciples did.
He sure did. And then will you also leave me?
Yeah.
So he didn't have no trouble or issue with it at all. So anyway, sister, we're gonna get you to pan around this building right here. We got 2-3 more courses to go. 2-3. Go ahead and look at this. Is what we're doing. We're working out our salvation with fear and trembling. And I know people take it out of context, but it's by their fruit you should know them. We're down here doing the work. This is a pastor and 2 elders. We're down here doing the work of the ministry. We're making full proof of the ministry, just like the book says.
Hallelujah.
Look like the sisters got some snacks over here.
It's lunchtime.
Hey, we got to go now. This food is more important than Gino Jennings' video. Shalom, shalom.
Long.